Hello and welcome to our webinar on the essential platform extensions which Translink are taking forward at University and Dhu Varren. I'm Michael Long from Gravis Planning, and joining me today is Padraig McGahan, Project Manager for the projects with Translink, Darren Fitzpatrick from contractor Charles Brand, Mark Montgomery, Route Manager with Translink, and you'll hear from all of these panelists during the webinar. By way of introduction, I want to highlight Translink's vision, which is to be your first choice for travel today for tomorrow. And the mission is to lead the transformation of transport in Northern Ireland. We will create the advanced public transport services and integrated networks which connect people and communities, enhance the economy, and improve health and the environment. Before getting into the detail of the platform extensions, I want to give you some key statistics which demonstrate the important role which Translink carries out every day across Northern Ireland. Translink currently has around 4,000 staff, which is one of the largest employers in Northern Ireland, and operates 13,000 services on a daily basis. To keep this level of service operational, this involves maintaining 1,400 buses and trains, which cover around 44 million miles per year. The network includes over 80 bus and rail stations, as well as 8,000 park and ride spaces, which are operating very successfully throughout Northern Ireland. Translink also looks after over £3 billion worth of railway assets, which includes 300 miles of railway track and over 1,600 civil structures such as bridges and level crossings. In light of this, ongoing maintenance of the track and associated infrastructure are vital to maintain high safety standards and operational performance. I will now hand over to the Translink Project Manager, Padraig McGahan, who will provide detail on the proposed extensions at University and Dhu Varren platforms.
Thanks, Michael. I'm Padraig McGahan. I'm the Translink Project Manager for the Dhu Varren and University platform extensions. Investment in the public transport and its associated infrastructure is fundamental to supporting the economy. It also helps support the shift away from cars and to use sustainable transport, tackling climate change and improving air quality in the process. Currently, the University and Dhu Varren platforms are only long enough to accommodate 3 carriage trains. Translink will be introducing 21 new Class 4000 carriages to the network to complement our existing fleet and to enable the conversion of a number of our current 3-car carriages trains into 6-set carriage trains. Larger trains will allow for increased capacity across the network. This will also provide 1,600 extra seats to the network every day, helping to encourage greater use of public transport. As both Dhu Varren and University stations are busy and well used, particularly during the summer months, and the University platform providing access to the Ulster University campus at Causeway, there is a need to increase capacity. Therefore, to accommodate trains with 6 carriages capacity, both platforms will need to be extended to 150 metres long in length. I'm going to provide you a brief overview of the construction timeline and what to expect during this work, and to note these dates may be subject to change. Preparation for construction work on this project commenced for University platform and for the Dhu Varren platform in April 2023. From Sunday 28th of May until Sunday the 10th of September, both University and Dhu Varren platforms will be closed to passengers, and this is to facilitate main construction works. On Monday the 12th and Tuesday the 13th of June, the Causeway to Portrush line will be closed to facilitate crucial on-track works. Mark will provide detail in later slides in the webinar on bus substitution information for this line closure. In September 2023, construction will conclude and both platforms will be reopened to passengers on Monday the 11th of September. Before handing over to Darren Fitzpatrick from Charles Brand, who is the contractor for these works, I'll provide you with some information on what exactly is being proposed at both platforms. To provide some context, 2 planning applications for the new platforms at University and Dhu Varren were submitted to Causeway, Coast and Glens Borough Council, and planning was approved and obtained in January 2023. When the works at Dhu Varren and University are complete, 150-metre platforms will be in place at both stations. Associated with these works, new cycle storage facilities will be installed to help facilitate healthier, greener and more active travel options. As I mentioned, University and Dhu Varren stations will be closed from Sunday the 28th of May to Sunday the 10th of September 2023 in order for construction works to be completed. The platforms will reopen to passengers on Monday the 11th of September. As previously mentioned, on Monday the 12th of June and Tuesday the 12th of June, the train line between Coleraine and Portrush will be closed to facilitate essential works on the track. Bus service substitution for passengers will be in place during the closure and communicated out. I now pass you on to our contractor, Darren Fitzpatrick, to talk through more detail on the construction of these platforms.
Thank you, Patrick. Hi, my name is Darren Fitzpatrick. I am the project manager for Charles Brand, who is the main contractor for the works at both the University and Dhu Varren. So just to give you a wee bit of a background on what we plan to do at University. So the initial devegetation works have already been completed. We have obviously done our initial site and compound mobilisation. So that started in May, with the main works being completed during the closure period of the 20th of May until the 10th of September. So we will be forming piling platform, and that will be there to allow us to install the piles that are required for the foundation, which are approximately 4 metres deep. Once the piles have been installed, the precast platform units will then be lifted into position and the platform finishing works can then take place. The works will also involve the demolition of the existing platform and a new platform installation installed in the same location. There will be a combination of day and nighttime working. Will definitely be a requirement due to the nature of the works and also the close proximity to the live track. This wee slide just gives you an overview of the site itself. The site compound we have to the bottom right of the photograph, which is located within Atlantic Court. That will be our main sort of gathering point for access in and off the track for bringing materials to the project. And you can then see the platform itself. So that will be initially demolished first and all material brought out through the site compound for disposal off site. Just a wee bit of a rundown then on the Dhu Varren construction methodology. So again, the initial devegetation works have already been complete. The site mobilisation also has commenced in May, with the main works then being completed during the closure period from the 20th of May until the 10th of September. An existing rock outcrop requires to be broken out to allow for the installation of the precast concrete units. And then once removed, the precast will be placed into position and the platform finishing works can then commence. The existing platform at Dhu Varren will also need new surfacing installed and a new DDA compliant access ramp. A combination of day and nighttime working will also be required due to the nature of works and the close proximity to the track. Again, just a wee slide showing an aerial overview of Dhu Varren platform. So again, we will be setting up our compound within the platform area itself. We'll be forming an access into the platform for deliveries and for removal of any of the broken out rock. And to the sort of bottom left of the picture where you have the solid red line is the extent of the extension that we're going to build on to this platform to make it capable of your 6-car trains. So just going through a few of the mitigation measures that that we have to obviously put in place or to try and facilitate. So unfortunately, some disruption will be caused to our railway neighbours. It is inevitable, and as we take these platform extensions forward. However, we will seek to keep the noise and inconvenience to a minimum through the following measures. So all engine covers are to be closed and fastened to prevent rattling. All vehicles, plant and machinery used will be fitted with effective exhaust silencers. All equipment will operate at manufacturer's rated working levels to generate minimum noise. All equipment will maintain in accordance with the manufacturer's specification. White noise will be employed for all relevant plant and vehicles where possible. Static machines will be sited as far away as practical from residential properties. Temporary acoustic screening will be installed where required across the site. Unattended plant outside of normal working hours will have acoustic enclosures as standard. Where operations are required at night, a quiet nighttime working ethic will be employed by operatives. No plant other than real vehicles will be left running more than 30 minutes if not required. Proactive traffic management will ensure engines are not kept idling in the worksite and that vehicle parking areas are located away from residential areas. Comprehensive and regular audits of the site will be taken forward by Translink and its contractors.
Thanks, Darren. We now have a short computer-generated video of what the completed works at University and Dhu Varren will look like. Following the video being played, I will then hand over to Mark Montgomery, who will provide some information on the bus substitution and connections. And Mark Montgomery will now provide some information on buses and substitutions and connections.
Thanks, Michael. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Montgomery, Route Manager for the Northern area for Northern Ireland Railways, working for Translink. I will now provide you with some detail on the bus connection services during these platform works. During the platform works, train services will operate direct from Coleraine to Portrush, but will not stop at University and Dhu Varren. However, there will be a limited 2-day closure on the line from Coleraine to Portrush on the 12th, Monday the 12th and Tuesday the 13th of June. This is to facilitate crucial works. A bus substitution service will be in place during these closures over the 2 days. For passengers wishing to travel from University or Dhu Varren throughout the summer closure of the 2 platforms, they're advised to use the 140 Ulsterbus Triangle service, details of which will be available at the platforms and online at translink.co.uk or on our journey planner. And for any passenger wishing to use these Ulsterbus 140 Triangle services, Northern Ireland Railway tickets will also be valid throughout these services. And I'll hand you back to Michael.
Thanks, Mark. And before we come to address some of the questions, I just want to outline some of the ways we've been engaging with the local community and the residents nearby both stations. We have issued letters to individual properties within the vicinity of the works at both Dhu Varren and University in April and in May, advising of the commencement of works, inviting those to attend our first round of the public events, and highlighting methods in which residents and other stakeholders can speak to the project team. As noted, we recently held 3 public events in the Ulster University Coleraine campus, which provided an opportunity for residents and passengers to call in and speak directly with the project team. Further letters will be posted throughout the duration of construction, keeping residents and other stakeholders informed of the works and ways to get in touch with the project team. We have also provided briefings to elected representatives for the area, including Causeway, Coast and Glens Borough councillors. We have established a dedicated webpage at translink.co.uk/Dhu Varren University, which will be regularly updated as the projects progress. Further to that, as there will be a limited line closure on the 12th and 13th of June and bus substitution service in place, we will ensure information is placed in all key train stations and announcements on trains to ensure passengers are well informed. We are also making use of digital platforms such as social media and webinars such as this one to provide updates on the works. And we have set up a dedicated contractor control phone number to deal with any queries or complaints. This number has been included in all communications to residents to date. And as you can see on the screen there, the number is 028 9039 4402. So to sum up, we are making every effort to communicate the planned works, and we remain available to talk to anyone who wishes to get in touch and should they have any questions. I will now move on to deal with some of the questions which have been raised with us during our consultations with the public, and they've been covered in the webinar to date, but just to reiterate, and can I ask Padraig McGahan, the project manager, just to reiterate why this work is being done and some of the benefits that the project will bring?
Thanks, Michael. Yes, as mentioned in the previous slides, investment in our public transport infrastructure is critical to supporting economic growth, both for our local economy in the area of Coleraine and Portrush, but also it has an effect on our wider economy by improving connectivity, capacity, improving labour mobility, and in a way acting as a catalyst to support regeneration, especially when we're able to link rural with urban areas. There are other benefits that have been assessed, and through communications with local groups, we have also we're putting this project in place to improve accessibility for our reduced mobility customers by providing DDA compliant ramps. We're improving safety on the network by increasing lighting and installing CCTV. And as also mentioned, we're striving towards net zero, and with this here, increasing persons and trains and increasing capacity on our train networks, we'll strive to reduce people needing to use a carriage.
Thanks, Padraig. And one for Mark, just to reiterate and clarify the bus information for those passengers wishing to travel from Dhu Varren or university platforms over the summer closure.
Yes, Michael. We have organised with our bus colleagues to facilitate travel on the Triangle 140 service. So customers wishing to travel from University and Dhu Varren can avail of those services using their rail tickets if they already have them purchased. If they haven't purchased tickets already for the service, they can purchase tickets on the bus for onward travel.
Thanks, Mark. And further information, of course, is available on the journey planner at translink.co.uk. One for Darren as the contractor, just to highlight some of the mitigation measures again that you'll be employing during these construction works.
Thank you, Michael. Yes, all the plant that we have We'll be making sure that it's fit for purpose. The operators will be carrying out daily inspections. They'll be making sure that obviously the engine covers are fully fastened, that they won't have any rattling. They'll be making sure that basically that the machines aren't sitting idling, that they don't park them anywhere near close to receptors. We'll be putting in temporary acoustic screening where possible and feasible to do so. And we will be carrying out noise monitoring ourselves, just so that we can gauge what impact we are having. Obviously, we'll be doing everything we possibly can to keep disturbance to a minimum for all local residents. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Darren, for that. And one final question just that has been raised with us previously during our consultations is how we will continue to engage with neighbours of the railway at Dhu Varren and University and other key stakeholders. And just to reiterate some of the methods of engagement we've carried out to date, those include a number of letters which have been sent out to all residents living within the vicinity of Dhu Varren and University. We have also held 3 public consultation events in the University of Ulster, Coleraine campus, and we have written out to residents in advance of those consultations to provide them an opportunity to come and speak to the project team. We had some good engagements with both passengers and residents wanting to know some details on bus information and the construction works. As noted, we have a dedicated web page there, which is seen on the screen, translink.co.uk/Dhu Varren University. That web page is updated regularly with information on the project at both Dhu Varren and University. We also keep in touch with elected representatives for the area, providing them updates on the projects as they progress. We also have a dedicated phone line, which residents are able to use, call in should they have any questions or queries for the project team, and we endeavour to phone those residents back should we be able to provide any further information and clarifications. Furthermore, we have some information on our digital platforms, Translink digital platforms such as Twitter, and we're using platforms such as this webinar, which will be uploaded to the Dhu Varren University webpage, again to provide information to residents and other stakeholders. And just to reiterate, we're available and willing to try and speak to as many people as we can should they have any questions or queries regarding the platform extensions both at Dhu Varren and University. So I think we will now draw this webinar to a close, and I'd like to thank our panellists, Padraig McGahan, Mark Montgomery and Darren Fitzpatrick, for their input during the webinar and also during the question and answer session. Just to reiterate that we are available to speak to any residents or any stakeholders should they have any queries, and we'd like to thank you very much for taking the time to view this webinar, and we will leave it there. Thank you very much.